Hey Time Slicers, welcome to Slice Squad Spills. I'm your host, Nikki Wildflower. I went from a basement apartment to a multiple seven-figure empire. Now I'm here to share how you can do it too. Hi everybody, welcome to Slice Squad Spills. I'm your host, Nikki Wildflower. I'm here with my co-host and also my sister, Jackie.
Hello, everyone.
Again, once again, for the 40th time, they're the same person. I don't like the way that I say that. Okay. Today's going to be a super casual episode. If you hear some clanking around, it's because I'm doing my makeup. So my life is a never-ending spiral.
Fair, same.
Yeah, it's not bad. Like, it's good.
No,
it's good,
fun,
but like, there's just, you have to start multitasking at some point. I don't agree with multitasking, but if it's a task where it's like, I'm not really paying attention while I do my makeup right now. It's not like I'm trying to do it well. I'm just trying to get it done. So
just
now that I
do it simply.
Now that I've accepted that reality, I can do this podcast at the same time as I do my makeup, because that's about what we have time to do.
This is going to be the final episode of season 3. Very exciting. It's been a journey. Thank you for being here with us. Today, we're going to talk about streamlining your business. Now is the time that you actually focus on the organizational pieces of your business to make it more streamlined and efficient. Now you've got the clients, you've got the referrals, you've got the reviews, you've got a well-oiled machine running. Now and only now is when you start to really, really focus in on the details to make everything run smoother, and then to be able to multitask, kind of like living in that chaos, but in the most efficient way possible. And that's what we'll dive into today: streamlining social media process, streamlining your menu, all of the things. So,
yeah, I have no idea what you just said, but we are going to.
Love that she listens to me. So cute.
Well, I don't even know what I just did with my eyeliner, and it's fine. Like, we don't know what's going on right now. Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Right. It's okay. And sorry it's been so long, everyone. Just so
we're not sorry. We're not sorry. Why would you apologize?
Thanks for your patience.
That's exactly it. Lives. So here's what we're gonna do. Well, everything's good. We're thriving. I'm going to the Rainbow Convention this weekend, which is why I'm like this.
Are you excited? Are you nervous? Are you all?
I'm not nervous. I'm just excited. I like to do things.
I like to do things.
Yeah, it's really funny. Well, it's not really funny. I actually started doing some like rainbow hair on extensions this morning, and that's not really not just started. I've been like doing more of it, knowing that we have this event coming up, and I'm not a vivid specialist by any stretch of the imagination. And so it's like, I have to say it all the time. I'm like looking at this stuff and I'm like, wow, I think this looks really good. But then I send it to Alyssa and I'm like, but is it good? Or is it one of those situations where in 2 years, I'm gonna be like, remember when you thought that was good and you brought it to the Rainbow Convention, you fucking fool? Like,
probably that, because you don't do vivids and like everyone sucks at everything in the beginning.
Yeah.
Well, you've done vivids. It's not like you never have.
No, I have. I used
not
to do more of them, but it's not my like huge jam, which leads me to believe that I think that they're good, but they might not actually be. And I'm deeply saddened to have to suffer through the fact that in order to get good at something, you have to be really bad at it first. So
right.
I think it looks good, but it probably doesn't. But that's okay. We'll get better.
That's okay. So, I'm sure it's pretty good. I mean, you used to do vivids in my head. Do you remember when I had rainbow crazy mermaid hair?
I do remember that. That was so fun.
And it looked good, honestly.
Yeah, but now we're doing it with extensions, because I definitely, like, when you used to get your hair like that, I fried the shit out of it.
Oh yeah, 100%.
It was so
That's why I love wearing extensions. I feel like I've done too many crazy things to my hair. It doesn't grow quite as long.
Good. Max did it yesterday. It looks good.
Yeah. Toned it down, made it a little warmer, and then did a little bit of lightening at my root to like blendy.
Love. So onto it. I'm really good at the segue thing, as you could tell, but we are going to. So let's say you're at this point where you've got your ideal client. You're hustling, you're bustling, your books are full, it's popping off. You've niched down, you know your specialty. What do you think comes next in order to get to the next level of business and continue growing? Because let's be realistic about it. If you stop growing, like, you suck. No, that sucks. You can't stop. Like, you can't stop. You have to continue to grow, or you won't even be able to really like keep up with inflation. You have to not have to. You can do whatever you want. Okay. So let me just be clear about that. Everything that I say, take it with a grain of salt. But also understand that if you want to have a largely successful career, there should be a level of growth that you're aiming for each year. That can vary depending on what your goals are. But with that being said, there comes a certain point where you are fully booked with your ideal client. So you're doing the thing. And what comes next in order to continue to grow, there are only two things left that you can really do. And that's one, increase your prices, strategically do add-on services as well, or B, get faster in whatever way. So both efficiency and raise your prices. And that kind of like circles us all the way back. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I mean, I spoke into it a little bit before. It's like now is the time for you to start to pay attention to the details and streamline the things that you're doing. So I find that like in the very beginning stages, a lot of the times people like they're just building their client base and they're like, let me spend 75 hours making my website the best it could possibly be. And doing a virtual and like creating a virtual consultation form and just spending hours working on efficiency tools and like those details that don't matter so much in the beginning because what they actually need is just more traffic and awareness to their business. So now is finally the time that you're there. You can focus on those things. How exciting. Policies, this sort of stuff to really protect your bottom line now of your business because your time is becoming more and more valuable and more sparse, or like maybe you don't have any anymore. This is the business focus time, right? You do all of the other things. You've got this well-oiled machine. Maybe you spend a little bit of time throughout the process of building on some of these details. But now is really the time where you can start to get organized and efficient. And so today we'll talk a little bit about both, like one, the menu, raising your prices, right? And what that kind of looks like and how we recommend you go about that with your clients. And then two, really like streamlining the business itself, the policies, creating more efficiency, making sure you're tracking your numbers, but using efficiency tools to do so, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So you work really hard to get to this point. And a lot of people want to start focusing on this stuff when it's way too early to focus on this stuff. And like Jackie said, even when you're growing the other aspects of the business, you will still put a little bit of energy into this stuff, but it's going to be 20%. Your 80% needs to be going into whatever else is actually going to move the needle forward. Once you get to the point where these are the things that are going to move the needle forward to continue growing, this can include increasing your prices strategically. This can include getting faster at your services, your booking systems, like just that whole convenience factor, and then getting an assistant, which would also help streamline a lot of those things, bringing in other employees or people to kind of take overflow. Boundaries and policies. The reason why these policies are going to matter is because you get to the point where your time isn't scalable at all. So you're out of time. Shit, now what? How do we open that back up? We raise our prices, we get faster, we hire accordingly. I can't even tell you the amount of salon owners that I talk to on the phone. I have the absolute pleasure of talking to business owners, usually in the service industry, multiple times a week, like at least 20 of them, at least. And, and getting to mentor and coach them successfully. So I was talking, but the amount that come in and they're just like, hey, so I got this, I got to build my team. And I'm like, none of that really matters if you don't have like business yourself. Like then you're just going to have other people who also don't have business. So first you need to build your own business. Then you hire as needed. Like you don't hire first and then build the business.
Right. Consider the fact that when you can one time with one business idea, with one business plan and one business model, create a strong foundation and flow and like use all of these steps, this blueprint to get there, you just copy paste that over and over again in any next venture after that. So think about how much success it sets you up for when you can find the success yourself and then use it for others that you're employing or use it in different business ventures that you're going into. Like this, our brains, us creatives, we want to go, let me try this. Let me hire this person. Let me do this. Passive stream of income, blah, blah, blah. Focus on what you've got in front of you first. Build it strong and then do that same thing with anything else moving forward.
Mellow, right? Wow.
Did you like my song?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, everything should really be a song at the end of the day.
Should we just sing the podcast? Season 4 is just singing only.
I just want to like give one good example of why everything should be a song. Because I don't know. I don't think we had the same teacher because I'm like a decent amount older than you. But when I was in 4th grade, we used to do these songs with our math teacher who it was like the times table songs. And I suck at literally everything when it comes to math. But those I remember like 3, 6, 9, 12. Wait. Yeah. 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21,
24, 27,
30,
33, 36.
Yeah. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72. Do you know the sky is blue?
Do you think everyone's loving this right now?
I don't give a shit.
Okay. Amazing.
That will be my last times table song, but consider yourself blessed for listening
honestly,
to
that was a very special moment.
It's gonna serve you well. Thank you, Ms. Heavican. I wonder if she's alive.
I never had her. I didn't have her.
But she's got like, I should look that up. I feel like if she is alive, which I hope she is, like
she's probably pretty old.
Pretty old. She's got to be.
Well, because she retired before I even was in elementary school. So that means she's probably retiring ages in the 60s. Like you're in your 60s. You are now.
Paul, our brother, told me that she was 104 then, which I don't actually think was accurate.
No.
I think he made, it's safe to say that he probably made that up now that I'm looking back on it. But
he probably made that up.
But, she was probably like 65 and that was maybe 33 years ago. So maybe she has great longevity genes in her body and she's still thriving. And in my mind, she will be. So I'm not going to look
grandma is 90.
She's older than grandma, I'm thinking. You know what? She is alive.
Are we just manifesting that?
In my heart, she is. So
okay.
I don't need to know otherwise.
Okay. She's alive.
Yeah. And well.
I just want to say also completely unrelated to the podcast episode or anything else. Remember how that my headphones broke?
Did you get new ones?
No. They just randomly started working again.
That's because the universe is... in retrospect?
Today is actually a new moon, everyone.
Oh, okay.
And new energy, I guess. But what we're really going to talk about first is increasing your prices. Yeah. Here's the thing about increasing your prices, actually. Scary, yes. You love your clients. Scary. Absolutely, you love them. When it's time, okay?
Well... yeah, let me tell you about this. If you don't have space in your books for more of like the higher ticket clients that you want to really bring in, then you have to raise your prices. Otherwise, you're just working yourself into the ground and there's really no way for you to grow. And I know it's hard because we get attached to people, but there comes a point where it's like, are you going to choose this person or are you going to choose your life and your family and your well-being and the longevity of your career? So you decide. You could always bring in other people. Like this would be where those people would come in, like an apprentice or something, kind of start shimmying some of them over and bringing in more of your like higher ticket clients.
Yeah, ideal clients.
But yeah, that signifies that. So I've been working with a salon owner for a while. And that was one of the things, like she was super booked out. She was doing like $2,500 a week, just her personally, not the salon. A lot of like haircuts and lower ticket services, which is fine. There is literally nothing wrong with that. Just not what she wanted. That wasn't the route she wanted to go with her career. She had a bunch of people calling in for extensions and some of those higher ticket services, but she didn't have anywhere to put them. So what we had to do with her at this point, she was at the point where it made sense for us to be putting 80% of our energy into raising her prices and getting faster. Okay. So this is the point where she needed more space in her schedule. So obviously we bring in like the faster color techniques. We bring in slice strands, which are going to go in a lot faster, which are going to install a lot faster, but get those same results as the sew-in. So now she has more space for those services. So she can do multiple high tickets in a day without double booking. And she had to raise her prices in order to shave off some of those like other clients. And it had to be a significant jump at this point for this particular person. And what ended up happening was in just like a few weeks past that, she went from like 2,500 a week to 6,000.
It's fucking insane. It's amazing.
But it's not because like, not to flex, but like it happens all the time.
Yeah, it's just math. Like it's just data and math. Like it's science. It makes sense. It's what you're supposed to do at a certain point if you want to keep growing, unless you are fully okay and comfortable with, just keeping things exactly as they are.
That's fine.
Which is
Then
never me.
I just don't think you'd be listening to this podcast if that
Probably
was
not.
how you felt.
Yeah, that's a fact.
And if you are, like, you're just doing it to torment me internally, I don't really know.
Maybe.
Or torment yourself. You're like, I can't stand Nikki. I'm going to listen to her fucking voice all day.
Right. Her voice and then and her sister's voice who sounds almost identical, just slightly deeper and
why
slower.
No accent? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Because I moved to Colorado and I never really had a strong New York accent. So I adopted just the New York accent.
Yeah.
I don't really understand why.
Like, I have it. Mom has it.
I think I thought it was repulsive from a very young age, the New York accent. I'm like, ugh, the drama. I can't do this. And so I kind of like morphed myself into not having one as a child. And then I really lost it when I moved out here because no one has one.
That's mindful. I feel like I can't even get my point across. I feel like I can't even get my point across if if I don't sound like Fran Drescher. Like, I can't.
That's the weirdest thing.
Why is it weird? It feels like if I have something to say, it's got to be like this. There's no other way that I'm going to get my point across in the way that I need to get it across than if I sound like I have a cold.
Whatever works for you.
It works for me. And also,
whatever works for you.
There's a power in gum, chewing gum.
There is a power in chewing gum. Yeah, you're right.
I've never formally said that on a public forum.
You know what? I think I have some gum and now I want it. I want to share a little bit. I do have gum, crazy. I'm a big numbers person and a big data person. And I think when people are yes, it is scary to raise your prices. And especially, our consulting clients, right? We're going to advise them from a very honest place. And sometimes it's time for a price increase and there's fear and there's a little bit of I don't know if I'm going to do that. Right. And here's how I help people, because other people can be pretty data driven and analytical too. Sometimes our clients are. And so I put the gum in my mouth as I'm talking, which is really an interesting decision. With that being said, so long as you know your profit margins, if you don't, this is when it's time to figure that out, right? You should be tracking your numbers the whole way through your business. But if you're not sure how to do that in the very beginning stages while you're just trying to build your client base, you'll figure it out. Now is more the time to focus on it. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm actually great. I was sitting on my foot.
Oh, and it fell asleep.
Yeah, so now I'm leaned over like a lesbian.
Yeah, you really do look very, very lesbian.
I wore a button
you are, but yeah.
Yeah, but I don't normally look like one, and today I do.
Right, I agree.
Kind of hot.
I wouldn't say so because you're my sister, and we kind of look identical right now. Our faces do, weirdly, right? Anyway, I want to talk to you a little bit about data. And so when it comes to raising the prices, a lot of the times people are afraid that, yes, it will probably lose you a couple of clients, or you'll have to resource them to your employee or to somebody else. And there's fear there. What if I raise my prices by this 15, 20% and I lose a vast majority of my clients? First of all, that's very likely not going to happen. You'd be surprised. Your clients want to support you and they want you to do well. And if they see the value in what you do, they're probably going to stay and budget for it. Some people you might you want to lose a couple of clients. That's okay. I want to explain exactly how many sales you actually have to lose in order to be affected negatively by a price increase. So let's just say your current profit margin, your business's net profit. So after expenses, what you're bringing in is about 35%. So you're profiting about 35%. In salon ownership, full team salon ownership, typically that's pretty common. It's on the lower side, but
no.
I'm just
full salon team ownership. We're much lower than 30%. 30% is one of the highest that I've ever seen.
35% is on the lower end for an indie stylist or an independent
yes. Indie
massage
stylists, you should
owner.
be at 60, 70, even sometimes 80% profit.
So then let's just go to the 35 though, because it's the number that I'm looking at right now. Let's just say your profit margins were 35% and you did a 10% price increase across the board. You'd have to lose 22% of all sales to be even affected by your 10% price increase. So like you'd still break even if you have 35% profit margins and you increase your prices 10% and you lost 22% of your sales, you'd still break even. That's pretty crazy. So let's look at 60. If you raise if you have a 60% profit margin, so you're an independent, right? You have like a suite working by yourself. You have a 60% profit margin in your business and you raised your prices 30%. This is insane. Are you ready for this? You'd still break even if 33% of your sales declined. So like overall, big picture, 33% decline. If your prices were increased by 30% and you have a 60% profit margin already, you're never even affected unless you lose more than 33% of all of your sales. And to be honest, like I did a 30% price increase and I lost 0% of my clients because they see the value in what I'm doing and they wanted me to get a raise. So maybe worst case, you lose a percentage of your clients or a percentage of your sales, but that's not even worst case because you're still going to be working less and making the same and creating space in your schedule.
Yeah. I think most people don't do this because of a couple of reasons. One, that fear of having that mass exodus, which is quite likely not going to happen. And two, because there's this other thing that's like, I don't want to price my clients out. I feel bad.
Like I understand that. And in the same breath,
I understand it. I understand it. Like I've been there before. I understand it. I've been there before. We form deep connections with our clients. We absolutely do. But like there has to be that professional working relationship or it's not going to work. And if they like truly, truly support you, they're either going to be on board or they are going to lovingly let you go. And if they do,
you can resource them to somebody who is
them to somebody else.
How many brand new stylists are there in your area that are looking for clients?
Yeah. So what ended up happening with the salon owner who I helped with that price increase and just sort of niche down more, very few clients actually did leave. And I'm like, okay, well now like almost we still don't have space. So we should have went higher. She's like very scared to do that. So, but
she's still making more now.
Like a lot more. We made a little bit of space and like just, I'm not going to rebook certain services, that type of thing. So that, and then make sure that your policies are strong, that you have your cancellation policies in place. We don't have like a lot of time to dive into this today, so we can spend a whole other episode on it, not in this season, in next season, because this season is done. It's just over. And I'm coming in like, I'm going to be out of my mind next season. I am in an era.
What's the era called?
Oh God, I haven't gotten that far yet. It just,
okay.
Yeah, I haven't
gotten. Can you toss me a name just like off the top of your head?
Why are you going to put it in ChatGPT?
No, I'm just wondering what the general vibe of the era is, I'm afraid.
Oh, yeah, no, it's definitely, there's a level of authenticity that already, this is why you don't force somebody to come up with shit when they're not in the mood. Literally fuck off.
I just didn't expect you to say that. Oh, so do you mean you're now tapping more into a level of authenticity?
I just let me be out of my mind. That's the era.
You just want to be unhinged.
Not like in a bad way. Yeah, but not like that bad unhinged. Like I've almost like, it's almost been psych ward material in the past. So we can't we got to be really, really careful about what we put out. It's more like into the universe. It's got to be more like I'm having a great time. We're all thriving, abundance, fun, connection, laughter.
You're not taking yourself so seriously in this era. You're just done taking yourself so seriously. You're done taking everything so seriously. You're just loving, connecting, and leading with fun, good, authentic energy.
I mean, that's how I feel today. So
Okay, let's carry it. I'm with you on that. I've been tapping into
it?
that energy. Yeah, it's good. It's good.
Cool, me too.
Great.
Oh, and I just want to be like a really good leader in this season.
Hell yeah.
That's where I'm at.
I like that.
And that's what we got. So thank you for joining us for that cliffhanger. At the start of next season, I'll let you know.
I'll be unhinged and authentic.
If it did turn into a full mental breakdown, or if we are just thriving, it's hard to say.
Absurd. Thanks everyone for listening. Share this podcast, like it, review it, all of the things. And if you are interested in what we do, applying to be Slice Strand certified or a consulting client, click the buttons below. There will be some, I don't know. Anyway,
some buttons. Do it. Bye.
There will be some buttons. Bye.
Thank you for listening to Slice Squad Spills. If you're enjoying the show, please subscribe, leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback is going to help us improve and attracts more listeners to the show. Please share with your fellow time slicers. And hey, if you're ready to optimize your time and double your income, we've got you covered.